You have reached the fourth part of this training, and that is interview skills. In this part of the training, we will talk about interview myths and mistakes. Interviews are not nearly as difficult as many people think. With correct preparation and a little practice, most people who dread interviews can learn to excel. The important thing to note is that performing well at interviews is a learned process. Highly effective interviewees are not born with interview skills, rather, they teach themselves what to say, how to say it, and how to behave during an interview. Now, we will talk about interview myths. The first myth is, the best person for the job gets it. However, the best person for the job does not necessarily win it. Often it's the person who gives the best interview. The second myth is, interviews are like school exams, the more you say, the better you'll do. However, interviews are more than just giving technically correct answers. They are also very much about building rapport versus the best interview. The third myth is, interviewers know what they are doing. The reality is, not all interviewers know what they are doing. Your job is to know how to handle good and bad interviewers. The fourth myth, never say, I don't know. The reality is, it's better to be honest and admit ignorance, than try to pretend you know an answer, and come across as disingenuous and less than bright. The fifth myth is, good-looking people get the job. However, good-looking people win jobs, maybe in Hollywood movies, but on the whole, employers are keen to hire talent over superficial factors. The sixth myth, if you answer the questions better than the others, you'll get the job. However, striving to give the perfect answer can get you into trouble. The seventh myth, you should try to give the perfect answer. However, it's better to give a good answer that's to the point, rather than searching for perfection. Besides, often there's no such thing as the perfect answer. The eighth myth is, you must ask questions to demonstrate your interest and intelligence. The reality is, do not ask questions for the sake of it. Only ask a question if you have a genuine query that has not been covered. The ninth myth is, relax and just be yourself. The reality is, interviews are formal occasions requiring relatively formal behaviors. So, interviewers will expect this and may react negatively if they don't see it. The last myth is, interviewers are looking for flaws. However, interviewers do not spend all their time looking for your flaws. They are more interested in getting an overall picture of who you are. So, avoid answering questions defensively. It's much better to see every question as an opportunity to highlight your best points. The last part of this video training will talk about common interview mistakes. The first mistake is failing to express oneself clearly. So, avoid trying to sound knowledgeable by using jargon or complex sentences. The second mistake is not being aware of one's body language. It is important to be aware to your eye contact, sitting position and facial expressions, since they are all very important aspects for the interviewing result, and need to be thought through before the interview. The third mistake is failing to give appropriate examples. Remember that saying you achieved something without being able to back it up with specific examples will only get you a rejection letter. The fourth mistake is failing to control those nerves. Remember that feeling anxious before and during an interview is common. In fact, a touch of nerves can be a good thing. The last mistake is trying too hard to please the interviewer. Whilst building rapport and trust during the interview is critical, obsequious behaviors are generally seen as a form of deceit and carry little weight.